and I'm sure there's going to be a lawsuit. I mean, you have a signed contract. It's not
without
Vince's
a doubt.
fault. So obviously when they negotiate a settlement, because I would imagine they would, that will be accounted for. And I think that's the reason why WWE stressed the fact, we're going to sell out. We're going to sell at 19,000. Reality is they probably end up maybe about 12. If they already sold about 10, and the show's next week. So we all know 50% of those tickets are not going to sell within 1 week. The storylines are not that impactful that, you're running to your local Ticketmaster or going online and purchase these tickets.
But you also know part of the reason why Vince is doing this is simply because, listen, it's the NBA, right? It's a huge, huge sports federation. They're in the playoffs right now. This is peak time for the NBA. What a better way to get media attention for WWE than to have Vince. And Vince is kind of right here. You know what I mean? When he goes out and says, we've had this arena booked for 9-10 months now, and for the owner of the Denver Nuggets to not have enough faith in his team to say, you know what? And they had a great team going into the year, you know what I mean? So for the owner to say, you know what, maybe I should put these dates aside, just keep them on notice, you know what I mean? That, you know what, if Denver goes to the playoffs, we may need these dates, and he didn't do that. The owner, and the problem is the owner of the Denver Nuggets is also the owner of the Pepsi Center. He's also the owner of the Colorado Avalanche hockey team. He's worth like $3.5 billion or something. He owns every major team, the Arena Football League out there, the soccer team out there, everybody but the Denver Broncos. You know what I mean? All the main teams. So the problem is of course you're going to get your lawsuit. Vince will without a doubt bring up a lawsuit on this. And then for you fans in Denver, I mean, good luck. They've got the Denver Coliseum out there, and they've got the Broomfield Event Center, which are both, I mean, much, much smaller venues, 7,000, 8,000 people in there. And, with this guy, what's his name, Steve Corny or Corky or something, I don't know what the hell, I can't, Corky. Corky, Kroenke, Steve Kroenke or something like that. It's got an R in there too, but it's a hard name to pronounce. But this guy, I mean, he's the owner of the Pepsi Center. So do you think Vince is going to want to do business with this guy again? Of course not. Of course not. So for people in Denver, I mean, if you want to see WWE, you may have about an hour drive out to Colorado Springs at the World Arena, because I don't expect them to come back to the Pepsi Center anytime soon after this big mess, you know what I mean? But I mean, it works both ways. It works both. And the thing that I mentioned earlier is the Nuggets are there 50 games a year, 60 games a year for home games that draw 10,000 or more fans. So who makes more money for that arena and for that owner? You know what I mean? I mean, who makes the more money? It's clearly the Nuggets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely literally the Nuggets, and that's what counts in this ball game that we're seeing with the WWE and Denver Nuggets about the arena. But again, Vince will be Vince, and he'll prevail eventually. And you're probably right. Mathematically, financially, at least for the WWE, the best way is to find one of those house shows and hook it up, or find an arena close by. But reality is that might be the best choice, is to actually change one of those house shows to a TV taping. You already have the audience. You don't got to go out and try to spend more money to market the event within 5 days. So logical choice would be to end up doing the show, around there.
Exactly. You would either, if you were to book a brand new arena for Raw next Monday, right? You would. Well, they could go to the World Arena out in, like I said, out in Colorado, but you would need to sell all those tickets, and they still haven't announced a new arena. So by the time we get to tomorrow, we've got, 5 days left where you have to sell all these tickets to sell out an arena. I think it would make a lot more sense you've already got tickets sold for house shows over the weekend. You know what I mean? You've already got at least some fans there. Maybe if you announced that it's a television taping, maybe you could sell a few more to that, and then bring your production trucks there and do the event from one of those arenas that they already have booked for this weekend, and then go out on Tuesday and do your ECW and SmackDown tapings. But I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see where they go. You know what would be cool is, and you know, it wouldn't shock me one bit, is, you know, say next Monday on Raw, maybe you've got a taped show from over the weekend, or if they do a live show from the World Arena next Monday, that as well. But you could have a group of talent go outside the Pepsi Center with, I don't know, I picture like a tank or something like that. You know what I mean? Just some sort of tank or bullhorns with a bunch of guys, let us in, knocking on the back door or something like that, calling out the NBA. I mean, that would be good. That would be good. That would get them media. They've got to do something next Monday. That's my feeling. Next Monday from the Pepsi, you have to do something to follow up on this. You have to have a group of guys, a group of wrestlers, either in the parking lot, outside the building, knocking on the door, something, saying that, look, we got this arena booked for tonight. Some sort of invasion of the NBA. You know what I mean? Next Monday.
It'll definitely bring some shock value, and it'll certainly bring some life onto the show, because it dearly needs it. But and we'll talk about that later. But you're absolutely right. They need to capitalize on this. You know, they need to do something to again, you know, media is going to be paying attention. People are going to be paying attention.
Oh, yeah.
Vince is on ESPN interviewing things, and the media outlets have picked up this issue with the Nuggets and WWE, and he needs to capitalize it some form of way.
Let me say this. R Dub from the chat says, I think his ego is so big that he'll hold it in the parking lot next week from Denver. The problem with that is the owner of the Nuggets and the owner of the arena owns the property to the Pepsi Center, so he can come out and say, get off the property. You know, you're up.
Yeah, not only that, but you need city permits. I mean, there's a lot of litigation. But it would be funny though, and it would be different to see Monday Night Raw on a parking lot.
In a parking lot, for sure. And I mean, come on, they're not going to have 20,000 people. The parking lot's going to be packed anyway for Nuggets fans who are going to be at the game. You know what I mean? But
you can also, you know, contact a movie studio and pack a whole mess of people in there and do a show. Oh wait,
yeah.
Don't they do that somewhere else? Never mind.
Well, dude, they will book somewhere, dude. They will book an arena somewhere. It'll be, I'm guessing the house show. I would say Salt Lake City is I had heard the World Arena. There was a report by Mike Johnson earlier today that they were going to run a back-to-back shows at the World Arena in Colorado Springs. I don't know if that's the way to go about it. I just don't know how many tickets that you can sell to that event, especially since everybody in Colorado Springs already has their tickets for the Tuesday event. You know what I mean? So a lot of these people, I mean, times are tough. You know, the economy stuff. So who's to say that these people are going to say, you know what, we've already got tickets to tomorrow night's show. Why would we go to Monday night's show? You know, not everybody's.
The logical choice is exactly what you said. The most logical choice is having it at a house show that's already booked, and you have the fans there. You just need to change the production. I mean, it's going to be a pain that you got to change a few things around, but there's just no way that they're going to fill up an arena within 4 days. I mean, you know, especially around that market. I mean, you know, those tickets went on sale, I don't know, in April, and they sold 10,000. So, you know, either they downsize in an arena, which could be an option, or, and what you just mentioned, and I think the most logical financial point is to actually change one of those house shows to a TV taping.
Well, that's not difficult. Take your trucks out to either Loveland on Sunday night. You're already in Colorado, right? Because you're going to want your trucks close to. They've got to bring those trucks on Tuesday over to Colorado Springs. Oh, sorry, I'm choking. Colorado Springs on Tuesday. So if you're in Loveland on Sunday, you know what I mean, that would give you a day to get to Raw would be taped on Monday, and that'd give you 2 days to get to Colorado Springs and then do your ECW and SmackDown taping. Even Salt Lake City, Utah is not that far of a drive for WWE's truck. So it'll be interesting to see. Are you telling me to move on, Jose? Jose
Move
sending
on.
me messages. All right,
Let's go. Next subject.
All right, next subject. All right, let's talk about WWE's Judgment Day pay-per-view and then Monday Night Raw from last night, which I don't know. I don't want to run down these things too much. I mean, that gets boring. You know what I mean? No one wants to hear us. Everybody probably watched the pay-per-view or watched Monday Night Raw, and then we come on here and we beat it into them again. You know what I mean? So that's just. I mean, you didn't see Judgment Day. Judgment Day as a whole, I'll give you my thoughts on it. You don't really. I mean, you don't have much to say, right? Because you didn't see it. But I thought
exactly.
I thought overall, man, I thought it was a decent show. There were no title changes. When we did our predictions, by the way, we were very good on our predictions last week.
Yeah, I didn't think I even updated my Twitter during the week, and I even